Geography deal, long distance. Okay, where are you from? Tasmania! That's pretty far, eh? I'd say about 10,000 miles as the crow would fly. Perth, Western Australia. We got the Aussies in the house. Down under, where are you from? Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Go Raiders. All right. Immaculate Reception. When that game was going on, I lived in Sunol, like 3 miles from here. My dad literally punched a hole in the wall. Raiders, Steelers, 1972, Immaculate Deception. Anybody else travel long distance to get here? Okay, we got some more. New Zealand, all right. So we got the island and then we have the continent. Welcome. Good to see you. You guys always have the bluest eyes, you Zealanders. All Blacks, go All Blacks. Yeah. All right, anybody else travel from a long ways? Well, a lot of these car owners traveled a long ways, and a lot of these cars have been on the national tour all year long. So what they're doing here this weekend is they're competing for the America's Most Beautiful Street Rod title, and that's presented by our friends at BASF in the refinish division. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna crown them here in front of you. We're gonna introduce all the drivers and builders, so the car owners. So if I could get everybody that's connected to one of these cars that wants to talk on the microphone a little bit, please come on up and stand next to your car. All the car owners and the car builders, please come on up and stand next to the car. And we are gonna start this way and then we're gonna work our way down. So if you own one of these cars or if you built one of these cars, please come on out. And then we'll start our ceremony. We normally did this at 5 o'clock, but we figured, you know what, everybody likes to get back to the hotel, so let's move it up a little bit. So that's why we're at 4 o'clock this year. And everybody's in the shade and everybody's comfortable, so it's a win-win. All right, where are we broadcasting to here, my friend?
Worldwide.
Worldwide. Are you from New Zealand?
No.
Where are you from?
Huntington Beach.
Huntington Beach is in the house with a Facebook Live broadcast. What's up, Huntington?
Dana Live.
Hey now. All right, so let's get going. America's Most Beautiful Street Rod presented by BASF. What we're doing here is only cars 1949 and earlier are eligible, so that's why you see a bunch of pre-war hot rods up here. No big cars, no muscle cars. This is all about street rods, which we categorize as anything under 1949 and back. And this gentleman right here, his name is Eric Peratt. He's a former Good Guys trendsetter. He won the Riddler Award when he was like 18. And he's back. And this year he won America's Most Beautiful Roadster. You call this the 3-penny Roadster, and it's a work of art, Eric.
Thank you very much. We got the opportunity to build a car for Mr. George Poteet, and who allowed us to take our foot off the throttle. So this is what you get.
Well, what you get is you get probably maybe about a 1-inch panel on this entire car's original metal. And what Eric does is Eric and his team here, they are metal crafters, master craftsmen. And with projects like this, they take, I don't know, 8 years, 10 years, something like that. So everything has been meticulously planned, pounded out, paneled, welded, seamed, sand for days. I mean, and everything on this car is pretty much redesigned. But the key is making it look stock.
Well, it is, and it's essentially a coach-built car, but it is still a 36 Ford. In round numbers, 20 to 25,000 man hours. That's a lot of man hours.
So that's 1 hour per man if you had 25,000 men.
Yes, we have about 4 guys, so it took 8 years.
Yeah, well, that's a long time. And tell us about the build, how it evolved and all that.
Well, George didn't necessarily want an AMBR car, but his only requirement was it's a 36 Ford. And we just took it from there. He came in one day and said, hey, what color is my car going to be? I said, chocolate milk. And he said, well, that's how much I paid for chocolate milk when I was going to school, 3 pennies. So 3-penny Roadster, that's how it was derived.
Well, that's a pretty cool nickname. He told us that story. This was a finalist for the Street Rod of the Year back in Columbus. And like Eric mentioned, it won America's Most Beautiful Roadster back in January in Pomona. So many details, we can't cover them all. Give me your favorite parts of building this car.
I'm going to turn it over to my guys here because they love to talk about the car and they were very instrumental in the build, so they can tell you some of these.
All right, thanks, Eric. Who do we got? What's your name?
Joe Hickey.
Joe Hickey, how are you?
All right.
Tell me your favorite part of working on this car and what components of the car stand out to you.
Probably just Eric allowing me to pretty much move all the metal as much as I needed to
So I really like the front end, the reshaping of all the fenders and leaning the grill forward at the bottom. So just the front end is kind of my favorite.
Okay, so you kind of pulled the bottom of the grill outward in a sense.
Yes, the hood tops are factory hood length or stock length, and so the bottom is just leaned out to kind of give it more of a streamlined look.
Now you have to really know what you're doing to be able to do something like that. What are you working from? Are you working from a buck? Are you working with foam? Or are you working with 3D CAD design?
None of those.
None of those. So you just built a buck and pounded metal around the buck?
I kind of just moved everything out, tacked it into place, and decided what we liked and went from there.
Well, tell us what some of the major mods on the car were. As far as belt line, section, like all that.
The fenders were actually moved forward 3 inches, and so the entire front end was recontoured to match up. And the new doors were made, has a 39 style deck lid instead of a 36.
Takes kind of the hump out of the back of the car. Those 36 deck lids were very like swollen looking almost.
Absolutely. Yeah, other than that, everything, like you said, was been massaged or changed to make it look like what we think it should have looked like from the factory.
What's the motor under those custom panels?
It's a 351 Ford.
351, so it's a Ford and a Ford. Outstanding. What's your name?
Thomas Carney.
Thomas Garr. What'd you do on the car?
I did all the machine work on the car.
And there's a lot of machine work when you go for the Riddler, America's Most Beautiful Roadster, stuff like that.
Yeah, me and Eric counted up. There's over 500 one-off machine parts for this car.
So when he tells you, okay, I need a doorknob seat, custom one-off, Ford didn't make it, I need you to whittle this up. Is that how that works?
I'll put that up on the
Yeah,
channel.
and then I usually draw it up, and he comes over and tells me to redraw it the way he really wants it.
Okay, but you did that over 500 times. What's your favorite part that you made on the car? Does one stand out?
I really like the hood side vents that we did for this. Those are all CNC machined with the integrated hood latch and everything.
And there's actually no vent in the hood vents.
Nope, purely aesthetic.
Purely aesthetic, and it's solid, and they're all machined one-off. Just an incredible car. Some of the wood grain inside, and Harry's saying wrap it up. So I'm going to move on to the next car. Guys, thanks and congratulations. All right. Oscar Gamble. Come on out here, Oscar. Have you hit 777s lately, Mr. Gamble? All right. Well, you, where are you from?
Paducah, Kentucky.
Paducah, Kentucky. We used to have a friend that lived in Paducah, Kentucky, and you're all the way out here in Pleasanton. You didn't come as far as our friends from Australia, but you brought a hell of a nice red 3-window.
Thank you.
How long you had this car?
I've had this car three years. I walked by this car when I was 14 years old. A man brought it from out here in California to Paducah. And when I was in high school, I walked by it, and it's been in a barn for 40-something years until I got a hold of it.
How did you know it was the exact same car?
Well, because I knew the color of it. The color of it was lime green, and when we had it stripped, we saw the lime green in the door panels.
Isn't that something? What a small world, huh?
Right, but we knew where the car was. We just couldn't get it bought.
That's almost like CSI type material, right? The forensics of finding an old car. Tell us about the machine here we're looking at. I love the nickel-plated wheels.
Well, thank you. Those are real rodder wheels with a product called Never Dull on them. And the car is, it's been massaged quite a bit. The fenders are bobbed in the back. Brad Starks built all the chassis. It's got an LS3 4L70E transmission, upright fuel-injected boiler. And Brad Starks did a lot of the fab work in the car.
So it's set up just to drive right down the road, though, with all that stuff you just described.
Right, and I've driven it some, not a lot, but I'm going to start driving it a lot more.
Now, who built the car?
Well, I did some of it. Brad Starks did the chassis. Randy's Body Shop did the paint work. And then from there, Steve Holcomb did the interior out of Knoxville, Tennessee.
I'm guessing it sat a little bit higher when you walked by it when you were 14. You lowered it a little bit, didn't you?
Absolutely, we lowered it quite a bit with a flat cross member in the front. We narrowed a 9-inch Ford in the back. We get the real rodder wheels under it, that type of stuff.
And it's got plenty of sidewall. I mean, this thing must actually be pretty comfortable to drive.
It is. It's very comfortable to drive. It goes down the road very well.
Awesome. So who did that beautiful, like, tobacco leather interior? I mean, that's spectacular with the baseball stitching.
Steve Holcomb out of Knoxville, Tennessee did that. He does great work. I was blown away when I picked the car up.
Well, this is a true product of the South. It's a Southern gem, and you're a Southern gentleman. What other kind of cars you got in your garage? Something tells me you got more.
Well, I have a 32 Victoria I'm working on right now, trying to get it finished up maybe for next year. And I sold a 32 Roadster, and I've always been into 32 Fords. I just like them.
Well, you did a hell of a job with this one, filled roof. I mean, it's just perfect, absolutely perfect. And Mr. Gamble, we appreciate you bringing your call all the way from Paducah, Kentucky. It's worthy. It's here on the big stage in Pleasanton. Congratulations. All right, now he just mentioned a 1932 Victoria. This right here kind of looks like a 32 Victoria, but there's a big difference. It's a Model A, so it's a 1931 model. This is Tim Hughes. He's out of Concord, just to drive up the 680. How are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Nice to meet you. We've never met before. Tell us about how you acquired a 31 Victoria.
Actually, I bought the body in 1989.
There you go. Now everybody can see it.
I bought the body actually in 1999. Just the body, no fender, nothing like that. And it was just a slow process over the years, and finally finished it up.
So did you build this thing in your garage?
I built the whole car at home.
How about that? Let's give it up to a guy that home built his entire car at home. What were some of the harder aspects of the project?
Too many of this, you know. I'm just overwhelmed. I never thought it would end up,
Did you have to redo your vows when you finished the car because your wife didn't see it for 10 years?
That's kind of an issue, yeah. You know.
Kind of an issue, yeah, especially if she writes the checks.
Not spend that much time out in the shop and stuff. Just kind of a neat, unique car. We took all the wood out of it. The very bodies had all wood in.
Yeah, they have a lot of wood in them.
Took all the wood out. It's got all rectangle steel tubing, all steel floors. There's no wood left in this car. Took all the welting out. No welting. All the body panels are all fitted together. All the counters, all the seams are all welded up. So it's, you know, it looks more like a 32.
So now, did you have all this in your head, or is this just stuff you just kind of figured out as you went along?
Yeah, I just kind of winged it, you know, and then moved the front fenders ahead an inch to clear all the AC and stuff in the front, and then cut out the original tilt-out windshield and put the glue-in windshield in it.
Flush-mounted glass. Yeah, that's a really nice touch. Now, I didn't even know they made a 31 Ford Victoria. There couldn't have been a whole lot of them, though.
They made them from 30 to 34.
Okay. And they have that interesting hump. What is the deal with the Vicky hump? Like, what did it signify? What was the purpose of it? Any idea?
You know, I have no idea. You know, I just always wanted one. I had a lot of other different cars over the years. I always really kind of wanted to build one of these, and finally happened, you know.
I got to ask you why you went black.
I just like black cars, but now I'm really sorry I did it. I'll never.
Sorry you did it because you got to clean it every hour.
I mean, look at it. I mean, it's total. You know?
Yeah.
So,
well, it's not totaled. It's at a dusty fairgrounds in late summer and it hasn't rained in 5 months. That's what you get.
Try to get that dust off without swirling it up, and it's a whole nother thing. You gotta go back and read.
All right, so if you could redo the color, what would you have picked?
You know, I don't know.
Okay, good question. Good. We'll consult the wife on that one. Congratulations, Tim, on making top 5 here at Pleasanton. Let's give one more round of applause to the guy that built it himself in his garage. Man, that's a long project. How you doing? I remember you from Columbus. This is Lynn and Randy Potter. Where's Lynn? Is she here?
Right there.
Hi, Lynn. How you doing? Good to see you again. Randy and, of course, Donnie from Streamline Customs that built the car. They're in Idaho? Utah, out in Utah.
Okay, here we go. On 3.
Randy, you've had a big year. You put this car on tour.
One more.
It sits right, it looks right, and the details are just endless on this.
Yeah, they are. You know, this car actually started out to be a Chevy truck.
Thank you, guys.
When I contacted Donnie's team, that's what I wanted.
A Chevy truck.
I didn't get what I wanted, and I'm damn glad.
Exactly. Was it a square body Chevy truck or a round fender truck?
5-window truck.
Oh, okay, there you go. So you ended up with a 32. The details, like the Roadster on the end, are just infinite. Tell us about some of the tricks of the trade here that you did on this one.
I'm going to let Donnie tell you that. He's the expert. It was really Donnie's dream, and Donnie fulfilled it the way he wanted. I'm going to let him tell you.
All right, well, Donnie's a salesman, too, especially if he talked you out of a truck and he talked you into just writing checks with his car. Come on over here, Donnie. Let's give it up for the younger generation of hot rod builders right here. Donnie's making a name for himself in the industry. He was on stage in Columbus where he was top 5 for Street Rod of the Year. Welcome back.
Thank you.
So Donnie, it went from a truck to a 32 Ford and a hell of a spectacular one. Tell us about the process.
So we started this car, we were building it as our business card, and Randy contacted us. We showed him some pictures, and he asked if he could buy it. I didn't want to sell it, but we ended up selling it to him, and I was fortunate enough to he let me finish it the way I wanted to do it.
You know, I'm having deja vu right here because about 15 years ago, there was a kid from Utah named Dave Kindig, and he was up here with his goofy little mustache thing he has, and I'm just like, who is it? Nobody'd even heard of him, right? And so I'm just having a little deja vu right there. Hopefully your name will be in lights in 15 years, but you won't have to do TV.
I worked with him for a long time.
Okay, well, there you go. There's the connection. I didn't know that, to be honest.
Yep, I was on Bitch and Rides for first 4 seasons, so.
I don't watch car TV because I used to be in the car business all the time, but tell us about the car.
It's a steadfast chassis, so Henry set the chassis up. It's got the look.
For those of you that don't know Steadfast, it's Henry Richardson, and he's out of Ohio, and his company's called Steadfast Manufacturing. And if you look him up on Instagram, everything he builds is on the ground.
Yep, so it's got that aggressive look, and I just went after the car. I was trying to build it as a classy, elegant businessman's car. So.
Well, that's what you did. I mean, just killer upholstery, and everything's color matched. That takes a lot of time and effort, doesn't it?
So.
Cool. And of course, we got a nail head in there.
Small block Chevy.
Oh, it's a small block Chevy. Now, see, this is a new trend. He got me. Guys are building LS motors to look like Fords, Buicks, Olds, everything like that. So this is an LS motor. How long does it take a guy to dress up an LS to look like a nail head?
It wasn't too much. I mean,
you just do the valve covers, but you got to do a few other things, right?
We changed the valve covers and put a haystack and Glease fuel injection system on it, and then hid all the wiring, tucked everything in, and put some ram horns on it and made it look.
All right, guys. Well, listen, Streamline Custom, that is a name to watch. They're out of Utah. He used to work for Dave, and now he's on the stage himself. Randy, congratulations, and congratulations. I think it turned out better than the truck.
Thanks, it did.
All right, guys. All right, down from the Pacific Northwest, it's Rich Staff, and this is his, let's hear it from the Pacific Northwest. You guys aren't drunk enough. Come on, you gotta be louder. Yeah! How you doing, Rich?
Very good, very good.
This is like your 20th Good Guys event of the year. You've been to every one, right?
Well, just about, yep.
So, he lives in Washington, and this car, this car has a lot of connections. It's connected to SoCal Speed Shop. The late Pete Chaporis actually developed this color. It's called Zenith Gold. Pete's son, Pete Chaporis 4, has been instrumental in the rebirth of this car. And it's been around the block, but it's never looked this good, Rich.
Thank you. No, 32.5 window is my favorite 32, and I've had a lot of 32 Fords. This car came available a few years ago, and I knew the car obviously, but also knew that it needed to be redone. So we sent it right back to my buddies in Ohio, and those guys gave it an Ohio makeover.
The Barry Lobeck, Ohio look, right?
The Barry Lobeck, Ohio look. But so those guys are my good friends, and they really a bunch of hobbyists that really turn out pro level work. And this car was disassembled and redone, really front to back, top to bottom, and we're really happy with the way it turned out. We kept what was cool about the original build, but gave it our twist.
And those are real Halibrands on the car.
Yeah, real Halibrands up front. We used Rebel wheels on the rear, narrow the rear end. It's got a 401 Buick nailhead with a 5-speed behind it.
That's a hot rod motor. And it's not an LS made to look like a nailhead, right?
No. It's what you see is what you get. It's 63 401 nailhead.
Those things run, don't they?
It runs really good. Car has, like I say, more horse. I've told a few people more horsepower than I've got. To put the pedal to the.
Yeah, it takes a little courage, right? Tell us about the pleated upholstery. I mean, that's 60s all the way, this black and white upholstery.
Yeah, so it was originally, upholstery was done by Gabe's. Sid Shavers redid the seat, redid some trunk panels and stuff for us. But yeah, no, the era that we were after here was 1968. And 1968 hot rod is what we were after, and that's what we tried to create.
Well, congratulations on making top 5. Congratulations on a successful year. You've been big time all summer long, and we appreciate your support. You've logged some road miles.
We have, and we're just happy to be here. Happy and surprised to be here.
Let's hear it for the Northwest contingent. right, if I could get Tina with BASF to come on out, we are going to present the hardware now. As you can see, Danae Davies is holding the finalist award, but she's also got, okay, where's the big hardware? There it is right there. Good Guys President Mark Metters joining us on scene. And Harry, I'm going to have you give that to Tina, if you don't mind, once they're done with the picture. So Tina is on hand representing BASF, or the presenter of this award. Tina, you've been in this business a long time. You've worked for BASF for 15 years. You've seen a lot of nice cars. What do you think of the field here?
I think they're absolutely gorgeous. I'm glad I'm this end picking or announcing the winner and not having to choose one of these.
Right, exactly. And you've seen a lot of nice cars in your day. Tell us what's new with BASF.
Just
painting cars?
painting cars, you know, getting out there, matching colors.
Yeah, well, you guys do a good job. I mean, if you follow BASF on social media, they do a really good job. They're really connected to the hot rod industry, and that means a lot. I mean, your competitors are very connected, you're very competitive, and you're connected, and you've got some of the nicest products on the market, and some of the top builders on the market as well. You guys have done really well.
Thank you.
All right, so should we get to this?
Yes, we should.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to announce the 2019 Good Guys America's Most Beautiful Street Rod presented by BASF, and Tina is going to announce the winner. Let's hear it. The winner is
George Petit.
There it is down there, ladies and gentlemen, the 3-penny Roadster. Thank you, Tina. Let's all head down there and we'll get it worked. Congratulations to all of our finalists from all over the country. Come on over here, Eric and guys. Come on over here, guys. Congratulations. You've been coming to Pleasanton for years and years and years. You guys are known to drive to Pleasanton, which you did this year. And congratulations, man.
Thank you very much. It's been even more of a memorable trip now, but we did drive a few cars. We drove 8 cars to Canada 3 weeks ago. We've been on the road a bit. My dad's 3-window has 75,000 miles on the way here, so we're not shy. This car didn't have a lot of miles on it, but it will.
Well, you won the America's Most Beautiful Roadster. Now you're America's Most Beautiful Street Rod. You won the Good Guys Hot Rod of the Year in 2015. You won our Street Rod of the Year way back in the day. You've done well.
It's been a good run. You know, someday I'll retire. It's going to be a little while. I'll turn it over to the guys, but I'm very, very, very proud of everybody that's been involved and what we've done over a 21-year period.
And I think a big debt of gratitude for our entire industry goes to the car owner, George Poteet. He supported every shop out there.
He's an amazing person. He's a hard guy to get to know, very soft-spoken. Sends a lot of highlighters on his invoices and little notes that you don't really know what they mean. He's turned into an emoji guy, so he's very short on words, but he's a solid dude.
So you're just going to send him a thumbs up, right?
Absolutely, I've been waiting to do that.
Awesome, no words needed, just thumbs up, maybe the trophy emoji too. All right, well come on over here, Danae Davies has your award, and we'll let you get some pictures. Mark Metters, come on down. There's Mark right there. You guys will take the winner shots. And please, by all means, once they're done with the pictures, come on up and look at the cards, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a great night. Thank you for coming out.
3, 1, 2, and 3. Do one more. On 3, 1, 2, and 3. Awesome. Thank you, guys.
How about that? You saw it on DanoVision. Dano Live here, Good Guys, 33 annual West Coast Nationals. George Petit, 3-penny Roadster.
How's that?
That works perfect.
How about you? All right.
I know. I saw they told me to get
How cool is that? We have a complete awards ceremony here, and you saw it on DanoVision. Dano Live, Pleasanton, California, Good Guys.